Hey y'all, this is just going to be a quick little, I'm not really sure what's going on, but just kind of a FYI stream because there seems to be some chaos going on behind the scenes. And I want to address it because it seems very familiar to something I've dealt with before. So I've been getting, you guys, if you've seen my community post, I've been getting random emails again, which doesn't ever stop. But whoever's behind the random emails, I do not think it's the account that they're claiming to be. I don't know any of these people whatsoever. That's a whole other community that I don't know anything about. But there's a connecting factor here. Terry Lynn is from that community, and I've learned and heard that there is plenty that happens behind the scenes, but I don't know who Siwa Moon is. I've heard John Yates' name in passing, being from the 90 Day community. I've heard Rakin's name, I think once maybe, but I thought that was in connection with the anti KJ community. Like, I don't know these people. I can't tell you what they're up to, but I don't even know a Maria. I, not in real life, not on YouTube, not anywhere. So sending some random person threats because of all these random things, let me tell you what's being said. And this will be all I have to say on this because it's just really freaking weird. And it, like, these don't faze me. I just, and they continue to. Oh my gosh. Whoever this is, you need a life. You really need a life. Okay, so they started this morning and said, I showed you guys the first one. And then I responded and said, I don't know who Maria is at all, actually, or is actually at all. So that would be the first place to start. Then they sent me her full docs, her name and address, which I don't know. And it says, Siwa Moon told me you were creating fake chats of me and posting them to Reddit. I don't go to Reddit ever. I don't know who Siwa Moon is. Then they go on to say, if you don't remove my email, I will be forced to report you to the FBI for terrorism. I said, wait, are you serious? I rarely even go on Reddit, let alone know who the hell Siwa or Maria are. Someone's going to have to do better because I don't know a single one of those folks. Only X 90 Day creator I know is Terry Lynn, but that's because she's exploiting Sebastian's story. Instead of threatening random folks who don't even know what the fuck you were talking about, maybe go back to the source and get her to send you some proof. And then I said, please report to the FBI. Sounds like it's on a speed dial away. They responded, Terry is a good friend. You're on her radar, which means you're on mine. Back of Terry. I think it's supposed to say back off Terry. Stop reporting on this. Remove all name of Terry Lynn, or this is just the beginning, chick. I said, have a blessed day. They come back. I know who you are, Becky Joe. I know who I am too. You do not want me as an enemy. Back off, Terry Lynn, now. I said, do not contact me ever again. You afraid? You should be. We have so many people watching you, Becky. So many eyes on you. You picked the wrong person to come after. I'm a hacker and already have downloaded your entire history. Try me and I will find out. John Yates and Amber are the least of your concern. Huh? Are you guys okay over there in that community? What you doing? I thought you guys talk about like the 90 Day Fiance show, like Big Ed and shit. What are we doing here? This is weird. And then some of y'all out here be doing the most. You reported me for violence because of scorpions, a poisonous creature. Don't worry, it's an appeal, but I removed my scorpion videos because it affects some sensitivities. That didn't do what you wanted. Terry Lynn striking me yesterday didn't do what she wanted. That got yeeted right back out. What? Why are we? So you go from attempting to strike me, then reporting me for terms of service violations, attempting to get me taken down, and then I'm getting threats. Are y'all okay? And all I did was review Terry Lynn's interview, which I'm going to finish reviewing, with Seth Rogers, the father of a missing child. If you were about awareness of the missing child, you would want people to review the statements that Seth has actually said. Nobody should be speaking for Seth. Seth can speak for himself, and so many people have. Yeah. Don't make sure you don't put any Brittany J over there. I can only imagine. She's so worried about my scorpions. I should send them to her. Michelle, you can feel that way. Are you the one that sent me the other message? Hold on, let me read that because that has a Michelle name on it. Let me see what the other one said. Hold on, let me see. Can you remove your post? I apologize. I just wanted to get Rakin in trouble the same way she's done to me and my husband. Michelle. Is that you, Michelle, behind this fake? Or somebody using your name? I don't know what you guys are all doing, but I have nothing to do with these people. I don't know any of these people, don't want to know any of these people. Threats come, I report them as need and move on. Like, I don't play these stupid games. I don't appreciate threats to my family ever. But I don't think the person that's claiming to be behind these emails is actually legit, as is. I don't care if you like Terry Lynn. The content was not about Terry Lynn. It was about Seth Rogers' own words. That is so weird to me. Anyways, new account nonsense created today. Oh, yeah, that's on par, Revival, because sending names, signing somebody else's name to it. Yeah. I don't know who's got what going on over there. I have no idea who's doing what, who's who. These are all new people to me. I don't want to know. I'm not going to look into it. Don't care. It'll go to the police department. It'll sit there. They can handle it. But I don't play these games. I want nothing to do with this. Take it somewhere else. I will continue to review sus words. Yeah. Sorry. Not sorry. So fucking weird. I couldn't tell you at all any of this shit. Are you the Maria? Drop the mic with Ann and Maria LLC. Is that the actual account, I wonder? I love watching 90 Day Fiance. That's the funny part. Is I thought that's what they talked about was like Big Ed and things like that though. Like I'm really confused. Okay, that is right. Okay. Yeah, Maria, I'm sorry. I no shade to you. I've never even heard your name before. I'm like, ugh. Anywho. Oh, Sheila, I got you. Okay. Okay. All right. See, I don't know these people. Not a big deal to me. Y'all know I'm on live, so Dexter's got to have treats. Yeah, I just have no interest in this. I'm sorry. I'm not going to look into it any further. I'm not caring. They can continue to email me. I've been dealing with that for a year and a half. None of it matters to me. People all be peopling. It's too peoply outside for some of these people, I think. Hey, Kathy P. Y'all, this is funny. It's just too much. See, my mods know who some of you are. I don't. Don't at all. Could anybody, if you know Raken, could you tell them they're cloning her and emailing people? If anybody does know her, if they could tell her that. I don't appreciate that being done to people. That's bullshit. I don't know this person, and I don't think she would randomly just pick some random person to start throwing messages at. This has something to do with Terry Lynn, I'm assuming, of course, because she tried to strike me. YouTube said no. And then this came afterwards. Like, you can add it up. I couldn't tell you who any of these people are. Don't care to know. But I just wanted everybody to be very clear. Like, we ain't doing this again. We did this once before with the death threats. You'll get just the same amount. And everybody knows my name is Becky Joy. Becky Joy. Becky Joe. I'm reading your guys' comments, and at the same time I'm like, oh God. Samantha Joy. Ma'am, I'll be the first to sign your petition if you really want to get that going. I guess Samantha Joy is going to start a petition to get me off YouTube. Y'all. It's been a Friday. You guys are out here doing the most. I got you, Kathy. Oh, okay. She has a channel. Okay, yeah. Like, who the fuck are these people and where'd they come from? What are we doing? I'll be the first to sign your petition. Send it to me. I'll even post it in my community tab for you. Get on it, Samantha Joy, but make sure you have action steps behind it. Like, we're going to continue to report her channel for things that hurt our sensitivities. We're going to continue to say, we reported her chat and her for hate speech to a police department, but she claims she lives in like 14 different states, depending which chat she's in. She can't make it up. So once you get it all figured out, send it on over to me and I'll be the first to sign it for you. Chico, right? I know, I'm a mini micro channel. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, let's be honest. See, I've heard that name in passing. I think when I can't even remember what it was in correlation to be honest. Like, I didn't pay attention that well in class because I wanted nothing. Like, these aren't areas of interest for me. These are not stuff that I I don't like at all. And then I heard BJ brought her husband on this morning and people got to hear him talk. I have to go watch that shit because, girl, last night you had your camera on. I'm proud of you for turning your camera on, and I'm really going to try to be nice right here, but goddamn. Goddamn. That's it. Again, I don't have to look at you, thank God. That's all I can say. Freaking pissing and moaning because Queen said stop streaming her. Y'all, if you haven't watched Queen's stream, please go watch it. Chris and Katie were on there. Y'all know that I don't do panels and stuff. Somebody emailed me and said, I bet you're jealous because Queen had Chris and Katie on. No, I don't engage with families. I don't interview families. I have no shame for them to be able to tell their story and talk about what they're going through. I think it's amazing. I think people need to learn about Sebastian. I just don't, that's just not what I do. But I shared Queen's live stream. I was in there as soon as I ended mine. And I think it was amazing to hear about Sebastian. So please go watch it. Hit that thumbs up, sub up, like the video. It was great. Y'all, you guys, I don't know how many times I can say this shit. I don't move in things that most it must be a lot of people are probably people do the weirdest shit though to try and like stir up some drama. Oh, Brittany, I heard you said that me and Granny are gonna go at it. You've been intentionally like waiting for me and Granny's watching to go at it. I don't know where you think that we're gonna go at it. First and foremost, I don't know Granny. I what? So you're predicting I'm gonna just start fighting with Granny's over what? Over what? What am I gonna start fighting with Granny over? Oh, wait, I think there was because I do the same thing Granny does. Ma'am, I started my channel out doing the exact same thing I'm doing now. Nothing has ever changed in my content. This is all I've ever done is show people with their own words. We talk about cult stuff. I still do the same process. We talk about Scientology stuff. I still do the same thing by showing and highlighting people's own words, court documents a little bit here and there. But everything I've always done is the exact same format. There's nothing new here. So you saying that, oh, she's up and coming. Ma'am, I've been around. I just haven't even made the effort like you think. It's so weird. But I highly doubt Granny is watching my numbers or my channel. Like, that's so weird. That's so weird, Brittany. It's weird that you are trying to like instigate something that y'all have me lumped in these groups that I don't even know these people like that. I get along with all sorts of people. Like, oh, yes, she is, Janice. Yes, she is.
Guess what?
What? You've spoiled him rotten. Sammy, I don't get it. Like, why are you so bothered? I've been over at Queen's for quite some time. Queen has a wrench in here. I have a wrench over there. If I need something, like any advice on the back end of YouTube, she has always offered me. Like, I don't understand this. I get along with so many people that other people don't like. I pop in and out. I go where, like, I have a really good relationship with a lot of folks out here. It's just wild to me. And you know what? What's funny is I guarantee Queen would have let me come up on panel. I guarantee Clue would probably let me come up on her panel occasionally. I bet these people wouldn't be like, nope, you can't. I don't need to be a part of that. That's a me thing, not that I don't support it, not that I don't like none of it. They were doing great. And I came in late. So I was assuming that a lot of the questions I would have asked would have already asked. Like, you learn how to read a room, people. Like, it's just so weird. Y'all doing the most. BJ's out here predicting a fight between Granny and I. Fight over what? I've done the same thing all along. My channel was built off of this. You just don't want to tell your subs that because you don't want to be truthful with them. I've never changed up my content. I couldn't tell you the slightest what Granny used to do I couldn't tell you. It's not like that. Y'all get way too invested in this shit. Oh my gosh, Pineapple. I know. Hey, Mrs. Fletcher. Yeah, Feisty. I go wherever I want. If there's a conversation I'm interested in, I go wherever I want. Ugh, it's so weird to me. Yeah, there is, Mal. It's really insane to me. Like, it's such a mixture. Y'all, sometimes I look up in my chat as we're doing something, and there's people in here that I'm like, wait, I think you don't get along with the person that's right. And I just keep it moving. This isn't like, I don't have these personal, vested, fucking drama filled fights with people behind the scenes, in front of the scene. Like, none of this. This is all so weird. Like, I'm the most boring one to try and drag into this shit, truthfully. There's a lot of other people. Terry Lynn, listen up. I'm boring. If you want my information, Terry Lynn, I pulled my entire background on live stream. Go find it. And ma'am, while you're out there crowdsourcing for a 12-hour stream and, in my opinion, potentially planting fake evidence in a missing child's case and involving yourself in court custody cases, I think you should be more worried about that than who I am and what I do, because the correlation will never work. Miss Fletcher, I do the same thing. I go wherever I want, do whatever I want. I get side-eyed all the fucking time because I'll be in a chat. But people go in chats all the time. That just because you're in a chat doesn't mean you agree with everything the person does or co-sign like that. We're fucking adults, people. And I ain't sure as hell ain't gonna sit in the chat and be like, don't say that. Don't do that. Like, what? I'm not a babysitter like y'all think I am. BJ, did you leave up your live? Let me go. Was it the end of it? I think that's what I was told. Hold on. Let me go look. Where is it? Did she take it down? Oh, no. It's here. Okay.
A man in her home. She's got nothing to offer children. She's got nothing to offer her friends. She's got nothing to offer her channel other than trashing and hurting other people.
Even if you...
That's satanic, man. When all you do is steal, kill, and destroy and go out...
Wait. Steal, kill, and destroy... Sir? Are you playing a video game and talking out loud right now? Like, who's satanic?
For other people, you're evil. You're Satan's minion.
All right, well...
Calling somebody Satan's minion. I got called the devil yesterday. I mean, okay.
Let me show y'all when Laura comes up, because she actually calls out
It's sick.
some of the... It is sick, but, I mean...
To wake up every day and want to...
I'm going to need a group hug. I'm getting drug again. Another exposure. God damn.
Want to hurt somebody.
But now she's going through this thing where she's pretending like she don't speak on me.
Oh, my God. That's all she's... Not, even before you, all she's ever done was trash.
I know.
UK's like this. I know Canada, they're not even allowed to put the names on some of the missing flowers. I don't remember the law. I know that there was like someone was trying to.
He's just over there mumbling in the background, and she's just like, "Yeah, hit the play button." Probably
See,
smart.
even he knows. Even Craig knows, and he doesn't even. He doesn't even keep up with none of this crap.
I walk through. I say, "Who's that hate-filled woman bitching?"
Why is he yelling all that? He did.
Turn her off.
When we were friends, even when me and her were friends, he'd say, "Why is she always?"
Yeah, definitely about Granny. Always.
Scream every time. She does, but like
I just assume if she doesn't have nonsense in front of it, it's always Granny.
we live in a world of manipulation, and now she's manipulated.
I think a lot of the people that are weak and cowardly like to hide behind a bully like that.
Yeah.
Because, so I would say if you're following her.
Wait a second, sir. You're calling her chat weak and cowardly? Ooh.
And you're supporting her, you're a weak coward who hides behind the bully because you're afraid the bully's going to get you.
Yeah.
You're a wimp.
Well, and they like that.
You're a bully and a wimp. We definitely have not left the elementary school playground.
You're a woman, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You're a wimp.
Yeah.
I give him props for defending his other half too. Absolutely. I have no problem with that. He's just really off base.
Like to hurt people too.
Right. That's probably the main thing. Either you're a wimp and you're a coward, or you enjoy the torture of other people.
Yeah.
And you're just as sick as she is.
Mm-hmm.
She's sick, and God knows it, and eventually it's going to come back on her.
God knows it. Lord bless us all.
God don't like hate-filled people, man.
So, okay.
Sir, go read a Bible. Stop trying to read us because it's just not working.
Now let me play this part real quick. Now I'm gonna play where Laura come up, y'all. This is
so boring.
Probably like the most profound part of it all. And KNS, if you're here, here's where I'll correct that I was wrong about the termination pregnancy that Granny was talking about.
That are like, I can't show you proof, but I'm telling you that this is the case. It's just hard to, because I'm like, okay, what do I do? Because it's almost.
So now she's playing Gavel.
Understand it, yeah.
Oh, she's playing Dietz's live, actually. That's what this is.
Over and done with so that you can take the screen down. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm so conflicted.
That's
Welcome
we.
to my life. Okay, I hear the wind when my mic's on, like a little bit.
I won't give you an example of a good true crime creator because everybody has a different personal preference and a tolerance level. So for me, a good true crime creator sticks to the facts. They don't overinflate, they don't add in useless stories, they don't attack and pull records on the victims and their families. They don't try to be law enforcement or armchair detectives. They assist with awareness and there's a few that I might like that you guys don't. So I encourage you to like whoever you want. Your tolerance level is going to differ. So I try not to give you my like, oh, these are the only ones I know, because everybody has a different, and there's so many true crime creators out there that I don't know. Because unfortunately, I do watch majority of the shit creators, and that's 100 truthful. Like, I end up watching the shit because that's what it is, my content. So I would not be the best reference for good true crime creators. That's just being factual.
But earlier you had some really pretty birds we could hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back. I'm waiting for my car.
Duty Ron is one that I tend to usually like, though, personally. For a police one, that is one I will say that I'm consistently. He has said things that I don't agree with, but I think that's natural. I don't think you could agree with everything a creator says or does, or their take on things at all times either. Thank you for becoming a member, Floor.
To be finished. I feel like a wanderer. I'm just like walking about trying to find somewhere to be. So I keep ending up in different locations.
Rabbit does true crime too, but Rabbit does a lot of like celebrity stuff. So it just depends on what you're looking for too. Everybody has a different like.
I'm trying to avoid the noise of the road and the rain, and this is
If you're asking if you sound like Terry Lynn's, you do not sound anything like that.
I think as long as you don't get to judge in the Karen Reid case levels of heavy breathing like Darth Vader down the mic, we'll all be fine. I help. It was in my.
I want to know what me and deputy. Have you been sleuthing this? Should be doing the same live.
That's Brittany scanning through the thing.
Making up things to add to speculation. I think that's where it becomes, harmful things. I don't think speculating the case has to be a bad thing.
No,
I just don't saying do it, in my opinion.
Like, have y'all not heard your mother, grandmother, aunts, parents, people
She does terrible with fair use.
around you when you were before the internet talk about this stuff?
Oh, for
Just
sure.
like out here. I mean, it's.
Ugh.
I'm okay with that.
That's squeak.
And let
I
me
try
just
not to be.
say this from an outsider perspective, as someone who hasn't done a panel, who hasn't been live, just
Beefers, that's how I see it too. I will be, yeah, that's why because for me, that's where I know I would be personally. So that's a line for me that I have personally too.
watching everything from an outsider. I'm not trying to cause any fights or anything like that. But the feedback that I see often is this. And I'm putting it in my own words.
Oh God, Laura.
Who the fuck are all these people calling everybody else out with monetization on while they're making money, exploiting the same fucking...
By the way, Laura, you said I ignore you yesterday in that live stream. I corrected you in the chat. I said, don't start lying now, because I quoted you. I said something about, if you don't turn your camera on, however she says that. I actually quoted you the other day, so I don't ignore you.
Of the people that they're calling other people out for. It's true.
So we kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, that, I think it was even one of our polls that, is it?
I think so, Revival.
To be calling, to be doing the same lives over and over and over and over, and then calling.
By the way, y'all, I sat in that chat and told Deets, some people were like, people were upset because they were using me as an example at times. I don't mind at all, because I don't do content like them, and none of their opinions at the end of the day change anything that I do. I might take some constructive criticism, but I'm not in conversations like that. It will never bother me because I do my own content. Like I'm not trying to, I don't know how to say that without sounding like I care about their opinions. That's not what I'm saying. Of doing better for the victims. I don't care what they personally think of me. I care when it comes to doing better for victims, I guess is what I should say.
those that are doing it as well. And we came to,
Hey,
the
Victoria.
chat came to the conclusion that the difference for them is the type of content that is being done over and over. But, well, and also, like, I think we also...
One thing I didn't appreciate in that stream is I'm not a true crime creator. As much as you guys want to stick me in a box or any of that stuff, I'm not a true crime creator. Yes. Do I address people in the true crime? Yes, because they're exploiting victims. But that doesn't make me a true crime creator. Stop trying to stick me in a box I don't fit in.
Clarified, if you have your monetization on, you have memberships and all that, I don't think anybody finds that to be harmful. I don't think that's what people are calling out, more so than having your Cash App, Venmo, all that scrolling the screen, mentioning personal bills or personal, right, begging for money, or asking for memberships and Cash Apps and tip your host. I think that's more so what people are calling out than the actual money aspect to it, because let's face it, we're all monetized.
Okay, but you're a hypocrite. How can you sit there and say that, Granny? How can you sit there and say that when you know inside that you asked for all those things?
Granny.
Y'all, this person has had multiple fundraisers.
Ma'am, who cares?
Her chat she has asked for them to help her get her car fixed.
Speaking of the hypocrisy right here.
She has asked for them to help her pay. Granny, did you forget about the parking tickets that you asked?
Jesus,
that you asked your channel to pay for you? You said that you didn't know how to pay it, that it was the last day, and then Kim and Crafton proved that Granny never even paid.
I don't even know who Kim and Crafton are still.
That parking ticket? Or
y'all in the names.
The fundraisers to go to the Disney World. Or to go to Capcom, what is that, Epcot or whatever, multiple, $1,800, $2,500. What about the side view mirror that broke on your car?
Sis,
your chat paid for that. What about when you were going to meet Lycan? And
sister, if you need something, open the freaking door and tell me. You don't have to come in my chat and talk to me. You're right there on the other side of the door. Kids these days.
You said you gave him half the money for a hotel room, and then he gave you the money back, and then you turned around and asked your subscribers to to reimburse you the money that you lost for the hotel bill that Lycan paid you back, and then you bragged about getting 3 times the amount from your subs.
Okay, moving on.
How can you sit there and say that? And then you want to talk about me? You really want to talk about me promoting my memberships?
Oh my God.
Something that YouTube
spread hate for the grid
constantly
who cares?
tells us to do. Like, that's a part of the YouTube.
I've never had YouTube come to me and say promote your memberships yet. They give you they get in the back office. I don't know if any creators have ever seen you. They or showed you guys. They show you different tools and mechanisms to promote those things and how to like encourage you to do it or how to build up your memberships. It's, marketing techniques because they make money off of you making money. But YouTube doesn't personally come to you and say, please promote your memberships. Of course, they make money off of it. Like, what are we even doing here?
Like, how can you say that?
Hey, Anonymous. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Darby.
For those of you that don't know, this is very true. Everything I'm saying. Go ask anybody in Krama.
You're unhappy, and you'll be that way until the day you die.
Yeah. Go ask
Craig. Never mind. I was going to do a Friday reference, but I'll probably get in trouble for that.
Everybody in Krama that knows her.
That's all the justice we need to know that you're a hate-filled BI.
Yeah, I don't know how she can sit there and
Sheila, thank you so much. I went into Kathy's this morning and was like, Kathy, have you seen Sheila yet? Because I was listening to Kathy. I logged in, had Kathy in my ear, and I was dinging around doing some other things in the house, hanging out with my kids. And then I went and checked my emails and I got those and I was like, what the hell? So I went into Kathy's and I'm like, is Sheila here?
Talk about people getting memberships. You seriously have it? Oh my God.
Facts of Live everybody's going to have a different take on what my channel is. It's kind of a variety channel, to be honest. I correct the misinformation that's being spread in these active cases or in true crime in general, like when they're spreading. But we end up talking a lot about the facts of true crime cases. So some people are like, Becky's actually, I've been told I'm better at true crime than some of these because I am fact-based, but then I don't see myself in that arena whatsoever. I don't put myself in a box. I talk about whatever the hell I want to, whenever the hell I want to. I don't come out here and say that I'm only going to talk about this. We talk about exploitation from the point of Tim Ballard in a 501c3 and Sound of Freedom, which is the sound of fraud, and how much people were ripped off by that. We talk about exploitation in cults and reality TV shows. Like, it's a little bit farther reaching, and it's more about the exploitation of other humans at their lowest times, all the way around. Revival, I figured.
There's so many people. And then you talk about people deleting their stuff and hiding it. I have, girl.
Ma'am, where's all your videos past 6 months ago? I'm just curious.
We're getting to that point, too. We're getting there.
You're going to tell us where you deleted all of them?
I never made fun of Asians. You're stupid, Cam. You're stupid. Put a 1 in chat if y'all know about the
She's still single.
Chinese is asshole. Do y'all hold on? Do y'all know that means
Craig, why are you worried about Granny's relationship status? That's weird.
Chinese is asshole? Put a 1 in chat if y'all know that meme. It was a freaking meme. That's not making fun of Asian people. That's why you're not welcome in my chat.
I don't know what she's talking about.
You remember that, Miss B?
Is that the actual Miss Portland in our chat?
What kind of adult spends
it's
their
windy
life
out
like
here.
that? You know what I mean? Just hating on other people. But you want a friend to hang out with at work or anywhere who's just constantly hating on everybody else at work, you know?
Nope. And I'm going to tell you, I've never in my life.
Wouldn't you have to have a job in order to hate on coworkers? I mean, isn't that a thing, Craig?
Had so many, like Megan BR used.
It is miserable working with miserable people, but that's not what Brittany does. Brittany works on YouTube from her home.
I'm sorry, Brittany,
Lord.
but that's not us. Well, it may not be you, Megan, but it's only when I talk about Granny that I have people come in my chat saying some of the most vile things. I can talk about anybody else, and it don't happen.
The people, I was thinking that the people that followed her were cowards, but they enjoy the hate too. I think that proves it. I think you're absolutely right. They like watching Jerry Springer for the absurdity of it, and that's why they like her.
No, if they want Jerry Springer, they go to Dolly's. Let's be factual.
Yeah.
Dolly would have to stand on a ladder, but I mean, hey.
It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal.
I mean, ultimately, that's what a troll is. They want to hurt you just to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they may agree with you, like, the sky's blue, and they're like, I know the sky's blue too, but I'm going to say it's fucking red at dawn just to fight with this bitch and laugh while she gets mad.
Yeah, that's true.
I told her it was, but she was wrong. You know, like,
that's
a
troll.
Enjoy it. They enjoy arguing with somebody and hurting somebody. I mean, that's what a troll really is.
Duh.
It's really a lot sicker than troll as a name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you asleep?
What would be like a psychological term where somebody enjoys hurting someone else? You know what I mean?
Well, you don't even have to go with a psychological term. Jesus, Lord, help us all.
I'm not sure.
Holy hell, my Lord.
It's worse than troll, you know?
Listen,
hey, B-Tim.
I want to make something clear.
Make it clear.
I'm not coming at anybody I don't care that people make money on YouTube. You'll never hear me talk about it.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about that. Make your money on YouTube.
All right.
My problem is the freaking hypocrisy. Yeah, you're calling everybody out for it.
If I make cartoons on YouTube, I'm making money.
It's straight hypocrisy at its finest.
Everybody on YouTube's making money.
All right, let's keep going.
No, that's not true.
But let me go back to the example that I use all the time. How come nobody calls out Popcorn Planet for that? They do that.
Why
I use
would
them as an example all day, every day.
you'd have to watch
they
them?
even state that they will not read your comment for under, $24.99 during the Johnny Depp trial. If
I don't watch Popcorn
you read
Planet.
your comment, then you'll pay them $24.99.
Then call
There's
them out,
many
Laura.
big creators, way big creators, like over 500,000 subs, that will tell you that, and I don't hear anybody calling them out.
Then
I also don't hear anybody ever calling out very small creators. Who they call out are ones they can make money off of.
that's
Who
not
they
true.
Call out is ones they can get views off of.
That's not
This
true.
is the general consensus of chats. And I really have been watching and keeping an eye on it and going undercover, and that seems to be the general consensus.
Laura's been undercover. Laura, why are you going undercover, dude? Just shoot.
Have you been slipping this?
All about who you like,
Right, girl.
don't like, and that's what gets me apart. On a personal note, Granny, this is not your fault.
What the fuck?
What happened on your panel the other day with Trev was the most vile fucking thing I ever heard in my entire life. And that one motherfucker has called it out. And
Thank you, Laura. Okay, so here's where I'm going to be an adult and say that I got it wrong. Okay, I have never heard that.
Laura said she's undercover.
It's so gross. I don't even want to repeat it. But I had never heard anything about
Lord.
Katie and Seth naming Sebastian after the babies that were terminated. Okay, I had never heard that. And I even made a community post asking, had anybody else ever heard that when Granny put that out the other day? I was appalled.
Maybe you should learn that your
And
community isn't very
everybody said
honest.
no. You can go look, the poll's up. Everybody said no, they hadn't heard it either. And which, hey, Granny, that should be proof.
Oh,
That
Jesus.
should tell you right there, I don't watch everything. You tell people that I watch you and everything you do, but I don't. I didn't even know that was said on your panel.
What?
I think so. I was wrong. Evidently, Trevor Lee said it.
You'll need to schedule a boxing match.
Listen to this.
Yeah, right.
And everybody can buy tickets, and the winner
Yeah,
gets a
what a
prize.
joke. That's absolute joke.
He said, y'all need to schedule a boxing match. And she's like, nope.
Oh, that would be great.
There's no peace. This person doesn't want peace. You
No,
said,
not for peace.
Granny, you said drop your
That's all she wants anyway.
and here in a minute, y'all are gonna hear her
She
say
gets
for
a
me
prize.
to drop my link. I'll drop
If
my
she
link.
loses, she still gets a small prize.
Come up. That's not what you're interested in. You didn't think that I'd call your bluff.
What are they talking about?
I don't know.
What?
Call your
Okay,
bluff.
because you just, I want to say objection, compound. So you just threw a whole lot of shit at us at one time. So first of all, I don't watch Popcorn Planet, but second of all, if Popcorn Planet has it, this is just my opinion based on what you just said here. If they have it labeled that, and going into it, they're only going to answer questions for specific super chat amounts, then going into it what you're going to get. So I don't have an issue with that because they're upfront and honest about it. And that's just where I stand. Others might.
Well, then, Deets, you shouldn't have an issue with me because I'm upfront and honest. Every lecture.
You can't make this shit up.
Before I get started, that's what I do.
Oh, no.
I push my memberships. I ask everybody to click the thumbs up. I tell them that I have Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo, and that if they would like to donate, it's not expected, but it's appreciated. And then I move the fuck on with my content. And then people say I scroll the Cash App stuff. I don't even remember the last time I scrolled that on my screen.
I bet it was last week. I bet it was.
I barely even put it up. I scroll #Sebastian.
The fact that
You also use his name in titles of strictly drama streams like you did the last couple days.
keep bringing it up,
So-
it really shows what they really care about. They're upset that
It's
you're
all-
making
yeah.
money, and
Yeah.
they ain't making as much money as they want to make.
No, sorry, sir. That has nothing to do with it.
if you were making more, you wouldn't care about what somebody else is making less than you.
That's true.
The only reason you're bringing up cash is because that's the only thing that you care about. It's supposed to be about the cases and the kids, man.
Yeah.
But no, it's about drama, fighting with other people, and how much money they're making, how many views they're getting. What about the kids that are fucking missing? You got no morals. You don't stand for anything. You're a piece of trash, Jerry Springer. Get out of here, man.
It's a mess.
Who's this guy?
Right.
Oh, go to fuck.
She mutes him.
I take it differently. I always feel like
I don't want you.
She just muted her husband.
right. You don't have to do that. So I don't feel like that's scamming or tragedy pimping or anything, because they're being honest with you going into it that like you're gonna have to pay for us to answer this question. But I do see that so many feel differently about it.
You're a special
It's
person.
only when I talk about this that, like I said, that people will come in my chat and say things like, wait until you meet your maker.
Oh my
There's
God.
a problem. I can talk about anybody else, but it's Granny. When I talk about her,
Wow.
It's Granny.
wait till you meet your maker.
Hold on, you guys.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
And that's just kind of where I stand. I can't remember what your second question was, but small channels. I do see some creators calling out small channels, not a lot, and I think it just kind of goes about like what gets in our own algorithms or what gets what we notice or what people send to us or things like that. And it might also just be that like you don't see the create, because I'm sure if we Google it, are we going to find an anti-Popcorn Planet channel? I bet there is one out there. I bet there's an anti, everything out there. But I know you're kind of talking about this community as a whole. Now, the third question, what the hell are you talking about?
Okay.
What the hell are you
Trev
talking
went
about?
on Granny's panel,
I
and they
hope
went
that
on
answered everything.
hours and hours and hours. I didn't watch the whole thing. But Trev told Granny, and again, not Granny's fault at all.
I'm going faster through this because we don't need to hear this again.
Anybody.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so
I don't want to hear that again. Now she's muted.
Hold on.
have you been sleuthing the chicken crackle?
And she just rewinded way back.
Your own channel. I don't care what you're doing on yours.
Exactly.
Oh, here.
And as long as to tell you
Talk to them like a child.
this about.
See?
These are the standards that these people
They can't even understand.
have hold. This is what they come at me about.
See?
I'm simply pointing out the hypocrisy. If you can't understand that, I don't know what to tell you.
Talk to them like a child.
This isn't my standards. I think people should be live and let live. And as long as they're not hurting people, they should be able to do whatever they want to do.
Meanwhile, actively hurting the family of a missing child and mocking the mother while she was on live stream last night, talking about her son. And you took every opportunity to mock them and drag them. And then you hid your channel, or hid the live stream. Again, if you're so proud of what you say and stand on, why isn't that shit up?
You don't see me going to other people's channels telling them what they should and shouldn't do. I'm not going to.
I don't care.
No, I don't care either.
You got your own channel. I don't care what you're doing on yours.
Exactly. So listen to this, y'all.
But let me go tell her. You
Kudos
should
to-
say that. You should do that. She'd cover that.
Kudos,
You covered it too many times.
right. Kudos to Laura.
That's what gets weighed upon. On a
Vic, I'm sure there's probably a copy out there. I didn't download it. I was in bed.
personal note, Granny, this is not your fault. I'm not mad at you for this. What happened on your panel the other day with Trev was the most...
She rewound it again.
Wow, nonsense.
Oh.
Bullshit. That is absolute bullshit.
Hold on.
You will not do that shit to me, Blue Butterfly. No, no, no.
Ooh.
That is bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. And you're not going to come in here and put that narrative on me. Wow, Nonsense's channel is down for a week because of her scorpion torture. We did great. No, ma'am. I didn't freaking do anything. We don't flag people. We don't strike people.
But you cried about the poor scorpions. Well, you didn't necessarily cry, but what?
And you're damn sure this is how. Do y'all see this? This
Her husband's even confused.
is how manipulative these people are. You literally got an account coming into my chat trying to frame me for nonsense.
Lord bless it. Frame her? God, she's been talking to the one.
This channel. No. Not today. Not today, Satan. No.
Not today, Satan.
You will not find in my channel anywhere where
Darby, it's magic.
we flagged anybody. I would not flag nobody. We don't strike anybody.
Trolls, man. They're just
that is
stuff to get a response
crazy.
out of.
Can one of the mods get a screenshot of that so I can delete it?
You gave what they wanted.
We absolutely do not encourage taking down anybody.
Did you tell Samantha Joy that about her petition to get me off YouTube?
That is absolutely crazy. And her channel's not down. Oh my God.
Shoot.
How lonely
do y'all see this?
You have to be. Do you want a random person on the internet to acknowledge you? Like some girls are attention seekers.
Wow.
But there's like a desperate attention seeker that's so pathetic. You know what I mean?
Sir, read the room.
Wow.
Okay, wait. Okay, pause. Because you just, I want to say objection, compound. So you just threw a whole lot of shit at us at one time. So first of all,
KCG, absolutely not. No, I don't want anybody's information. I'm not even entertaining that. Nope.
I don't watch Popcorn Planet. But second of all, if Popcorn Planet has it, this is just my opinion based on what you just said here. If they have it labeled that, and going into it, they're only going to answer questions for specific super chat amounts, then going into it what you're going to get. So I don't have an issue with that because they're upfront and honest about it. And that's just where I stand. Others might take it differently. I always feel like
I don't want to.
Right, you don't have to do that. So I don't feel like that's scamming or tragedy pimping or anything, because they're being honest with you going into it that like you're gonna have to pay for us to answer this question. But I do see that so many feel differently about it, and that's just kind of where I stand. I can't remember what your second question was, but small channels. I do see some creators calling out small channels, not a lot. It might also just be that
she kept rewinding to the same spots.
But I know you're
I don't watch the whole thing. Private?
Hold on.
Some of the things that you've said in this channel,
she keeps saying the same thing.
Off on me for far less. You did. Now, I'd appreciate some of the things that you've said in this channel, in this chat, in this particular live stream. I do, and I'll give you kudos.
Janice, he would respond to him, but you can't even understand him. And Kyle would just look at me like I had three heads. If I made him listen to that, he'd be like, what was he even attempting to say? He would be so lost on all of this because the Satan's minions and stuff, like, he would be like, I'll play it for him though.
For that, but you absolutely went.
And thank you for that.
Off on me for far less. And here y'all make excuses.
No business telling anybody.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so I think it goes where like maybe you don't see it. Like there's a lot of times I don't see the action, therefore I don't see the reaction to it. But with this one I have. So you're like, because he's so well loved and blah blah blah. Girl, I don't think he's right. Like I feel like a lot of people are, holding his feet to the fire.
See, and I think that's so wrong. That's one thing I do disagree with is if people are blaming those around him, he's accountable for his action. And by the way, Brittany, maybe you'll say it
right now, and
we'll
rightfully so on a lot of situations. And so they kind of.
It could be Janice. Very true. Thank you again.
I'm on that one as well. So I don't. Are you saying like? Are you wanting like specific channels to be calling this stuff out?
No,
I feel like that's kind of where you're having an issue. Maybe that the channels you watch aren't calling it out.
No, what I'm saying is, if I said something like that or aired someone's business, you can go on YouTube and you can find 35 channels with the title "Laura is vile," "Laura's disgusting," "Laura that perplex this, perplex that," "Granny same thing," "Brittany J same thing."
I disagree.
There would be 35 channels all highlighted with that title in it.
I disagree. They'd all have different titles, but
because it's Trev, it's mullied over. It's thrown into someone's lives. It's not made the forefront that it should be. It's not put out there the way it should be. It should have been called out right on Granny's panel. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, why would you do that to somebody? Why would you do that, Katie? And
I wasn't in there during that. I was live myself during that whole first part of Trevor's rant on Granny's, and I have not gone back and watched it because there was the other piece of it that was bothering me, and I did hop up. I think that's the same live stream that I hopped up, but I didn't assume any of the creators were protecting him, and I named the creators that were Josh, Slimy, Brooks, Spanky, those guys. They absolutely were.
I don't even know if it's true. The whole thing could be.
Wait. Well, here's what you're missing, Laura. Was Seth already who told us that Katie had done that Katie did not follow through with those. So Seth put that information out there. So I think you're missing that part. Trevor didn't put that information out there. Seth did.
Okay.
And I think the reason it wasn't.
Right here though. Look now. Like I said, I apologize for getting it wrong. Granny didn't pull it out of her ass, but she pulls it out of her ass right here. She says that Seth went on the platform and Seth told everybody that Katie they named Sebastian out after the terminated pregnancies. And that did not happen. Deets even has to correct that. Seth had maybe talked about the lost babies, but not about the names. And so that's my whole point of what I try to call out and say, like, Granny is just so freaking loose with her lips.
No, that had nothing to do with Granny. Sorry.
And like I said, I wouldn't even say anything about it if it wasn't for how she comes after me all the time and tries to make me out to be like this horrible person. You don't need to. If you want to do better without trying to drag me down. You don't have to drag me through the mud and my name through the mud to try to make yourself better.
Ma'am,
it's a problem.
The only thing
you're a problem. Your behavior is a problem. If highlighting your own words and statements is a problem, then read the room. You're the problem.
Ever done.
Yes, it is. Yes.
She can't get this straight.
Changes your opinion a bit.
No, let me put it like this. We all know that Seth aired out Sebastian's personal info, okay?
Yes.
So how would it look? But how would you feel if I went on your panel and I said,
I'm fast forwarding that. We don't need to hear about that. I agree with Laura and a point here. I don't think it was right here's my problem with it though. And I wish Laura could have taken it this far, but she didn't. My problem with this whole situation is not that how do I say this right? Trevor knew this information all along. This was stuff that Seth was telling him, according to what I'm piecing together here. Again, I didn't see the full stream, but based on what they're discussing and what Laura was saying versus what the panel was saying and the clips that I've seen shown, Trevor got on Granny's and aired out all these conversations that him and Seth had supposedly had in private. Trevor spoke about how, if I'm incorrect on this, I think that it bothered him, but he didn't mind bringing any of that out until Seth was mad at him and publicly shamed him. He sat on all this information. Now, if it would have been Chris, that would have been all levied against him from jump. I think Trevor weaponized and used other creators. He took his channel down, but he's been going on tours all over the place. Kathy showed a video of him being on TikTok last night. He's going on all these tours to talk negatively about Seth and disclose things that Seth told him behind the scenes. And I think that's unfair to creators because it's putting creators who gave you credibility and trust in a bad position because you're not being fully honest with them. None of that information bothered you when it was you were Team Seth. Meanwhile, you guys were, recording calls, releasing calls, doing all that stuff. It's odd to me. It doesn't make sense.
But you're comparing it to speaking on Sebastian himself. He wasn't speaking on Sebastian. He was speaking on Seth.
No, I'm talking about.
There was a lot. Oh yeah, hypocrisy, sure, without a doubt. But there was also more information to that. It wasn't just like he said, "Oh, and by the way, this is the name of it." It actually rolled out the conversation.
It's not his business to tell on a panel with almost 1,000 people.
I agree with that. It's similar to what Chloe did and held Katie's trauma and dangled it over her head. Again, Seth has talked about this stuff too, but you got to put all of these things. Oh, yeah, Megan, he went on Josh's. He's been on Brooks. He's been on TikTok. He's still talking about Seth.
That was fucking disgusting. And Katie did not deserve that at all. I don't care what Seth said. Katie did not deserve that.
I agree with Laura there. Again, they don't even take into account that this all affects Katie. Like, they're weaponizing Katie's. And again, I look back to Trevor was okay with all this stuff when he was learning this stuff and Seth was saying this stuff and didn't mind knowing all of this until he's no longer Team Seth.
He is still an innocent fucking person, an innocent victim who technically lost a child. He's missing without a trace. And she did not deserve.
See, I didn't even think about it.
To be aired out like that. It's fucking
right. I didn't even think about it affecting Katie. If I'm being honest, I didn't even think about it having that impact on Katie. So that's fair enough. I didn't consider it from that perspective.
Yeah, and that's where I think he potentially used Granny too.
How could you not?
What? Because that
not?
information has been out there. The information of not carrying through with pregnancies before has been out there. It's already been part of conversation. Seth has openly.
Okay, fast forwarding again.
I don't blame you, Granny. But I just get really frustrated when I see people that want to call someone out or do the right thing because Katie and
it kind of feels like people are picking a team, right? Because that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. Like, oh, that was acceptable because Seth, is doing all this horrible stuff. So let's let something horrible slide about him, and not realizing the ramification of how it also could hurt Katie. And I get what you're saying because that's a lot of what we've been talking about all day.
I wasn't here earlier, so
yeah.
And Laura,
I'll be honest, I didn't think of it hurting Katie. Sorry.
Yeah.
How can you not? And then how can you say?
Because I don't think it's a negative towards Katie. I think the negative came in with Seth and him already put the negative tone was already out there, right? He already put it out there. I think it was said and stated more to show the possession and how gross Seth is, because there was a whole conversation aside from that. There was a conversation of him telling Trevor how Katie hopped all over his bones, and you've mentioned
fast forwarding again.
You have to treat people who aren't arrested that they're innocent. You have to treat them like that and not think for 1 second that airing this shit out and Trev talking about private personal info doesn't affect Katie. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fact that he waited to do it until there was problems with him and Seth. That bothers me.
So let me clear this up real quick before you guys continue. Seth put out the
private,
the ending of the
pregnancies.
Pregnancy.
Pregnancy.
Sorry, I had a brain fart. Yes, put out the ending of the pregnancies, not the name thing. That is what.
Okay, fast
Yeah,
forwarding.
we're probably gonna have clips of that.
But that's
it's the truth.
Friendly, but that's why I see things. And I know Granny's gone, had people go after her. That's why I used her as well as Brittany J. But you can't be the person that calls somebody out or calls people.
Marcy, that's not true. I have called people racist because there is a few racists that we've encountered. Molly Golaley spewing the stuff that she did to Queen Tulsa was vile. Extremely vile, and that was like a year and a half ago.
Tries to be a do-gooder, and I don't mean you, Granny, I'm saying in general, and be a do-gooder.
Yeah, because I'm not calling anybody out.
And not think.
I wish you would have listed these do-gooder channels. Oh, Brittany.
Audio, whatever.
Come on.
I want y'all to pay very close attention to this.
Okay, we're paying
Listen
attention.
to this. Laura mentions how I brought up Illuminati. Listen to it.
Is that a person?
Yes. And watch how they just dismiss it.
Hang on, let me.
And
yeah, she brought up Illuminati.
Genevieve, yep, that's another example. There's been a few that I've called out as racist, yeah.
What I was hearing. You don't speak like that in a true crime case. This is not fucking entertainment.
She wasn't, though. She was dragging Dolly. Again, everybody is entitled to feel how they want. The one thing I will continue to appreciate about Clue and many other people is she stands where she stands. She don't sugarcoat shit for no one. She don't try to impress no one. She says what she says. She's unapologetic about it. You don't get this bullshit. I appreciate that. Do I agree with hell no, we're human beings, people. But I find it really ironic that, again, and they're misconstruing what was actually said too.
This is real life, people's real fucking lives, and real heartaches and real tragedies. So don't act like you care about a fucking case when you're talking to Dolly and PJ and everybody else the way it was said.
Dolly and PJ and all the other people who are exploiting and saying the worst things about Katie and Chris and Seth, even, I'm sorry, they're not victims in this.
Then you have these do-gooders that say, oh, we respect you, we support you. No, bullshit. You don't fucking, true crime is not a joke. That's where this whole crime and true crime lines need to stop, because true crime is messy, true crime is ugly, true crime is dirty, and it's vile. And it's not for the weak at heart. It's not for your bored housewife. Real true crime is autopsies, real true crime is nasty, real true crime is just vile. But it's not drama, and it's not something to be made fun of. And what I heard on Brittany's channel was fucking vile with what she played from Illuminati.
I don't know what she played, but that's, that is your opinion of true crime. For somebody else, it might be something completely different.
I'm glad you said it, because that's what I was hoping for. It's my opinion.
Do we got stuff to grill out tonight?
Hold on. Okay, do you hear that? We'll get it. Do you hear that? She called it out. Laura called it out and called out how nasty it is. And y'all know how vile and nasty it's been. But that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
That is their opinion. It's not to do with facts in the case. That's a big difference. You're talking about people's likes and dislikes between creators. That has nothing to do with this. Dragging Dolly and PJ was because Dolly went at Clue. Like, that's a total different thing than discussing a case. There's a back and forth there between them. Sorry, it is what it is. Whether you like it, don't like it, like the creators, any of it. There's a total difference in this, and people need to stop. Anyways.
If you are going to be the hall monitors of YouTube, okay?
Hall monitor.
They're hall monitors. If you put yourself, just like I said about
little snitching.
Just like I said, same thing I said about nonsense. I said the same thing. If you choose to be the hall monitors of YouTube, then yes, and you need to stand up.
Y'all and your fucking titles for me. A hall monitor. I'm a hall monitor. You really get under somebody's skin when they don't have anything that they can say besides stupid, petty insults.
On it and be consistent and call it out all around.
That's what I've been doing.
What do you not want Illuminati? Is it you're afraid Illuminati is gonna call you out? Like, listen, she's got a big mouth, but I know people like her all day long. Okay.
What?
There's I knew a girl that was just like
good, Julie.
So she's no longer with us, but I know that personality.
That's her choice.
Well.
Yeah, I bet if you caught her in the parking lot, she'd cry.
Their bark's very loud. But my whole point is, y'all should if y'all gonna call it out, call it out.
Brittany, you might want to introduce your husband to Clue, because he said that if you met her in a parking lot, she'd probably cry. I think you should probably introduce your husband to Clue so he understands that that's far from the reality of what would happen. Just a heads up. But go ahead.
All around, but you won't.
Just like everybody calling out Dolly and T-Rap and everybody else, that's their opinion. That doesn't make it right. That's right.
So hard.
Meanwhile, last night in the screenshots I got, her child sleeping on the couch behind her. She's got the screen blurred over. Meanwhile, trashing the mother of a missing child because they were on Queen Bee's panel and she wasn't getting the attention she wanted out of it. Make that make sense.
But that's what we've been saying all day, Laura. Like you're coming in here raging at us for the shit we've been saying all day. Welcome.
What do you call that?
Hey, this is wrong and that's wrong and that's wrong.
I don't know necessarily if she was yelled at. She was told to stop, Melissa. Yeah, she was told repeatedly to stop.
When is it wrong or is it just your opinion?
That's what we've been literally saying all day.
I'm sorry.
Okay, well, don't come in raging on a panel and be like you're outraged and you want us to be outraged with you. Girl, we were outraged 2.5 hours ago. Yeah, I've been on a phone call this entire time, but I've had my headset on, and it was all good and great. And then all of a sudden, I hear, and I was like, "Whoa, something's joined. I don't know who's here now, but it's loud." And I was like, "Turn it down a little bit." And then you got louder, Laura, and I was like, "Oh man, I don't know, something's happening. Should I just exit the panel? I'll just keep muted and turn the volume down." But so I don't actually know what you guys have been talking about. But yes, what you said at the end there, yeah, we just got to keep asking everybody where their opinion is and where they stand on things and what we think in our individual opinions is appropriate, too far, not necessary, things like that. But I didn't get to
see. I appreciate Bob. Bob has a very kind soul, and she's very empathetic. But when it comes to doing this, again, I respect their opinions and I take constructive criticism. But them trying to put anybody in a box, and I'm not saying Bob was, but other people were like trying to figure out our communities or what our channels are about. My channel has been here from jump doing the exact same thing I've always done. I use their own words to correct the misinformation. That's all. Hey X, thanks for becoming a member. Like, this is no big deal. It's very simple. It's not that deep, but I find it ironic that there's some people that talk about those of us correcting the misinformation and have really strong opinions on it, but they themselves don't ever even attempt to help correct misinformation. There's a lot of that happens too, which is totally fine. They're entitled to their opinions, but don't come in here and tell me how to run my shit or how to do my shit when I stand for something and you stand for nothing, because you just talk about how we discuss doing better for victims when you're not even doing anything to support victims at all. That I do, but not saying that that's what was happening there, but I've had that before. I've had people come in here and tell me, oh, do this, do that. You shouldn't be telling people what to do. I'm not telling them what to do. Not at all. I will continue to point out the harm being done to victims, not telling them how to run their channels. They should do better for the victims. I have no control over how these people run their channels. That's so weird.
what you said.
My main point is I'm so disgusted at what Trev did. And you're right, Seth should not have done that, but Trev is 10 times worse for repeating it. Because one, it was done in private. There was no reason to go on Granny's panel and air that information for no reason. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Disgusting.
But it wasn't just for no reason. It came up in conversation. Like, it's not like he came up and said, I'm going to come up with the intention on giving out this one bit of information. No, it came out of conversation. And I also, I think, I know for me personally, Trevor's not usually into drama. Like, he's not one that I see out here. Like, his pain is essentially.
I have to disagree with Granny there. He is so in the drama. He's been doing this panel tour. He's involved in a lot of drama. And that's just my observation from what I've seen. Again, Trevor and I were in that comment section together and even communicated. There's nothing there for me. Like, this is not a personal thing. He even quoted me once in the chat. Like, it's not like that.
Issues. He's all about the drama.
I agree with Laura there.
Oh, that's never what I've ever seen.
Okay. He's not in drama. He's every single place drama is. And I don't believe.
And I have to agree with Laura there.
And he was subpoenaed to go to court.
He wasn't. He wasn't. And you heard that on BJ's channel. He was never subpoenaed to go to court. He avoided that question, but he himself said multiple times that he was asked. He was not subpoenaed. The docket's available too, that you can see that changes were made 2 days before the initial hearing.
Well, he never said he was subpoenaed.
Oh, remember he said he was subpoenaed. No.
The articles in the case, of course, are sealed because it's a minor custody case, which should be, but the docket is there.
His request. He said he was requested.
I was listening. I don't remember who. But I was listening to somebody and they were saying he was subpoenaed. I was like, bullshit. They're not going to subpoena someone because they didn't.
He wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't.
There's actually a comment in my comment section that explains in detail kind of how it went, and it's spot on. Somebody else came over to me and ripped into me because they were like, he was subpoenaed. He didn't have a choice. That's not factual. And if that would have been factual, that he would have been subpoenaed, I would have said that. That's not truthful.
He was subpoenaed. Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you, Snazzy, and I agree. She said, never been so happy my kids are grown. I would never want YouTube helping find my child after the way I've seen creators behave and slander parents. Absolutely, and they turn things into a witch hunt. But I'm concerned about that, even though my children are grown. I see it happen on missing persons cases. I see it happen in so many true crime cases. It's not just children's missing cases.
I mean, God forbid your spouse, something happens to your spouse, and it might be considered, even if it was an accidental thing, I mean, you'll get hammered immediately.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Nanya, but those who support their friends or acquaintances doing the exact things they call out, I'm sorry, but I just shake my head. I don't even know if people hear themselves anymore.
I think friend is a loose term on here for me. So that's a different, like, I don't know. There, you could find problems with every single thing when it comes to this stuff across the board. You could, if you want to find problems and issues, again, when it comes to people's bias about, I don't have a problem with people having Seth on panel. I think it's exploitive when he's having a mental breakdown like the other night, and they should have ended it for his own good. But I don't have a problem with him telling his stories. Not at all. I think he hit a breaking point, is very obvious. But I think it's important for parents of a missing child to be platformed in a certain aspect so they can talk about their son. I do think it can get muddy pretty fast. Personal involvement gets involved on all sides. I do understand that. That's not something I do. That's a personal choice. But again, I think it's needed for people to tell about their child to help bring him home. I just think that the waters get muddy and then it's intently used for drama like it was done to Seth the other night.
I agree. Right? That's a two-way street, though, for all of us. All of us. Mm-hmm. It's weird. I think it seems to me, too, that a lot of people are going harder at people who like Trevor than they have gone at Trevor.
I will go hard at Josh, Brooks, all of those people, because they've been involved in the messy shit from the jump, in the back end dealings. He's been on their panels. They've been defending him. Absolutely. The rest of these people on that panel, Dietz, Gavel, Chasing, I never assumed that they knew anything about that. So
I've never seen anything like that. I don't understand.
Well, I can explain that.
Are you going to talk, Brittany? This is Brittany's stream, and she's not even talking.
For one, I like Trevor. I think Trevor Lee does a good job. Trevor Lee is a 22-year-old young man who has a lot going for him in the true crime arena. He's worked on several cases. You can't take away what he's done.
Nobody has tried to.
As far as like bringing awareness for these cases.
Nobody tried to.
I like Trevor.
Nobody cares who you like.
But I don't think we need to deitize anybody in this platform. And if somebody does wrong, no matter who it is, it should be called out.
And it was.
But also, I think I will say this, I'll speak on Trevor's behalf.
You're going to speak on Trevor's behalf. Here we go.
Nonsense herself has admitted that she harassed him for a week.
Nonsense herself has admitted she harassed Trevor for a week. Telling him to be honest with everybody that he's hiding behind and tell him the truth is not harassing the poor young soul. And it wasn't a week. It might have been a few times before that I had conversations and said, you need to be honest with people. That's not harassment in any way, shape, or form. But okay.
Trying to make him confess to...
No, confessing, being honest. I mean, sure, you can spin it however you want. But he owed people honesty because he was twisting a narrative that wasn't reality.
Oh my God.
Oh, here comes Craig.
Testifying for being called in to be a witness for Nina. She admitted that she tried, she basically tried to force him. Like, who do you people think you are?
I gave him an opportunity to be honest. That's not harassing.
Or that you think you have that right to go and
why don't you have any
force somebody to go confess? Like, it's sick. And to say that this is your life, I don't understand true passion True passion for what? Using victims' names to go live and trash people.
Using victims' names to go. The irony of this all.
I feel sorry for you because I think you really.
I don't need you feeling sorry for me. That's the last thing I need.
You've really made yourself believe you're doing something good, and you're not. It's pure hate filled. It's awful.
Every single one of it. If you know it, that's my point.
This is really what y'all want? Y'all want to do this? Because I don't.
You don't want to do this because you will spin your wheels out because I don't have to do this back and forth with you. I just play your own fucking words. I'm not like the other people you mess with. I don't do the personal shit with you. I don't do the back and forth little kid games that y'all do, the going real life, the threats. I don't do any of that. Of course you don't want to do this because it sucks having to hear your own fucking words back at you. Totally different ball game here. Stop lumping me in with other people. It's real old. I don't do anything on behalf of anybody else. I do what I want when I fucking want.
There's something about being a man in this arena that people don't call out.
Yeah, that's her husband back there.
That people have more respect for. Now, people say the trends don't.
I've seen the Claire be called out plenty.
Overall, there's rules to there's exceptions to every rule, but overall, men do not get half the shit that women do in this community. And
I agree with that to a point. People like Spanky are absolutely insufferable to listen to.
But there's not many men in this community. Statistically, there's such an outbalance that, of course, women are going to be called out more because there's very few men.
And in this case, Trevor Lee, T-Rev757, Pascal, A Balance, Dolly Vision, JLR, Spanky. Shit, I'm forgetting some other ones. Justin on TikTok. Plenty more have all been addressed and should continually be addressed because they're terrible.
I'll say I have seen this. I've seen this outside of men. I've seen it with heels. For me, I absolutely saw the pressure come towards people that supported her, were friends with her, had paneled with her, being questioned by those that had been the target of being called out, and then they were saying, "Okay, and how about all? Were you going to say you're gonna say something about this? You're gonna discuss it? You got an opinion on it?" And there's a lot of pressure put on them.
A lot.
And so that's, to me, this feels similar in the fact of there has been pressure applied to people that associate or support him to say, like, if wrong is wrong.
I think some of that comes in with a guilty conscience on some people's part too, or assumptions that they are expected to call people out. I don't take anything like when people do this and say like, "Oh, no." I think people like Josh Smiley Brooks, who platformed him and let him lie, should absolutely say something, but they won't. They won't. We know that.
You need to keep the same energy consistent. And I do agree with that personally. I absolutely think it should stay the same. It doesn't mean that you have to stop supporting them or not like them or be nasty to them. But if it's wrong,
where are people saying it's okay?
That's I don't think I haven't heard that. Yeah, I haven't heard
people are defending it, and I haven't seen that.
I think that
I haven't. I don't know how they haven't seen Gavel. If you hear this, I don't know how you haven't seen people defending him. Josh went hard defending him. Brooks hard defending him. Slimy, like all of them went really into hyperspeed defending Trevor over Seth.
What maybe people are wanting to see is they might want to see like the same kind of coverage, the actual stream where you're playing the words and showing this and saying I disagree. I'm not really sure that's kind of the question. Like, what response are they wanting? Because I do agree. I don't
know who's wanting a response either. Trevor Lee's a grown adult and is responsible for his own behavior. I don't agree with that people are being pressured to. I don't agree with that. Both things can exist. They can like Trevor, love Trevor, appreciate Trevor, and still disagree with his actions. Like, I this is confusing to me, but it always has been.
That's a better question. What should it be that it's not?
Right.
Oh, no.
I disagree. Just real quick, Granny, though. I'm going to let you speak, Granny, but first. Just another troll. I disagree. She's not shaking her head at us. She's looking down at me, taunting me, saying, I know the outcome of this.
Okay. TJ's not even talking. She doesn't even talk. She just sits there. She comes back in a second. Hold on.
There she goes, bringing my name up. I think I gotta go do pickup. She's talking about calling my misinformation out. Once again, there she goes, bringing my name up. Like, why? Why don't you use somebody else?
Creators behave and slander parents. Absolutely, and they turn things into a witch hunt. But I'm concerned about that, even though my children are grown. I see it happen on missing persons cases.
She just backed it up again. Like, why did she do that? Play the same thing over and over again. Lord bless it.
True crime cases. It's not just children's missing cases.
I mean, God forbid your spouse, something happens to your spouse, and it might be considered, even if it was an accidental.
You're sitting up there with the worst one, though.
Immediately.
You're sitting up there with the worst one that brings kids up. That's the problem. Y'all are sitting up there with the worst offender as she sits there and pretends like she's this good person.
The worst offender? The worst offender?
Herself accountable.
Really?
Yes, it's.
How can she even pretend to be a decent person?
People act like they have amnesia. People have amnesia. I don't know.
It's an everlasting.
I don't see anybody acting like they have amnesia. Not at all.
Put a 1 in chat if y'all remember Granny's antics. Drop a 1. Because I swear it's like people have amnesia.
Listen to that shit. It's the most miserable thing. Like she's a fountain, a fucking a volcano of hate, bro. Like either you can. I mean, if I watched, I would have to laugh at her in order to try to enjoy it somehow because she's like a yapping little dog. I just don't understand. Like
there is 3 1s in this chat. 3 1s.
Good vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen to good music.
All right.
Eat good food. Have a good glass of beer. You know what I mean?
Dude, some of us don't drink, and you were just asking if you guys had enough stuff to grill tonight. Hopefully you do. It's barbecue weekend.
Yeah.
I don't want bad vibes.
I agree with Naya. But those who support their friends or acquaintances doing the exact things they call out, I'm sorry, but
She just starts playing the video over her husband again.
they shake my head.
Or partner, whatever. I don't care.
I don't even know if people hear themselves anymore.
Thank you,
I
Nana.
agree.
Right? That's a two-way street, though. For all
She played the same thing over and over again.
of us.
What is
All
she
of us.
doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. I think it seems to me, too, that a lot of people are going,
Hold on. Also, here's another issue that I have. I'm going to call out.
She'll be lonely for
It's so manipulative. You go to these people and you say, you don't speak on me. You don't call me out. You're not talking about me. But if you don't want me to call them your people, then go call your dogs down, Granny. Because it's just like last night when Queen Bee, Queen Bee, when they had the Proudfoots up on panel, we're sitting there listening to it, and I'm looking on my phone, and there goes just another troll telling Queen Bee that I'm over on my channel playing the live. Like, it's a
respect thing. It's a respect thing. If you would have went to Queen and asked her if you could stream it, I'm sure she would have. Again, I've stream sniped somebody one time because I have no respect for them. I just showed the pictures on there, though, didn't play the content. But it's a respect thing. And you were trashing Katie. Like, you were using the interview to discredit, once again, what they were saying and mock them.
Always show up. Just like in Clues. Cluminati was live dogging Dolly.
Who cares?
Your mods was all up in her chat trying to get her to shift her focus on me. If you're not calling me out, your mods are fucking harassing me incessantly, whether it's going to different chats trying to get people to speak on me or coming into my chat. I unblocked them for one day, and I've already had to block them again because of they can't be civil. Call your dogs off. You don't see me having people come over to your channel and harassing you.
Because nobody gives a fuck.
Right, Yvette. She didn't speak on me today. If people can't see this, I don't know what to tell you. This live, she mentioned my name multiple times.
It reminds me of the Wizard of Oz, where the witches got those flying monkeys.
Oh my God!
And
Please
they're all
don't.
just hate-filled
That
monkeys.
is, they are her flying monkeys.
Oh, now with the flying monkey analogy. Here we go.
Fucking monkeys.
This is like listening to Uni.
And here's another thing. She said, when I said that her mods do foul stuff, that don't mean all of y'all, Megan. But I guess you forget about the CPS call that was made on Dot, right? Like Granny's mods, they do get down like that.
I don't even know who the fuck Dot is, so sorry.
Yep.
Harder at people who like Trevor than they have gone at Trevor. I've never seen anything like that. I don't understand. Like,
I went harder at Josh than I did at Trevor, absolutely, because Josh lied on me. Trevor didn't.
Explain that. There's something about being a man in this arena that people don't call out as much. That people have.
But Trevor allowed it to happen too, so there's that.
More respect for. Now, people say that Trevor's done.
I've seen the Claire be called out plenty.
She rewound it again to the same fuck. Why do you do this, Brittany?
There's rules to there's exceptions to every rule, but overall, men do not get half the shit that women do in this.
This is annoying.
Being questioned by those that Jenny does.
All out true crime creep.
The exploiters, right? Would. But the exploiters, right? So just as much as they are exploiting the family, it's basically us exploiting the exploiters, right? So,
which is still exploiting the family.
Yeah, by proxy, it's doing it to the family as well. But on the flip side of that, Laura, if we weren't correcting misinformation, who the fuck would?
But do you really need 20 channels calling the exact fucking same thing out?
No, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I agree with that.
Hold on. Jones and I like you.
Oh.
If you hear this, I like you. But I'm going to be real with you. If y'all ain't calling out the misinformation, who the fuck would? While you're sitting up there with somebody, people who spew misinformation all the time. Let's be real. And let me ask you this, Joneson. Can't you call out misinformation without dragging somebody for filth? And
I love how she thinks she gets drugged for filth. I have yet to see, and that's because I don't watch content a lot of people do on her. I popped in. Megan didn't drag her for filth the other night.
I'll say I don't think Deets necessarily wants to take people down or pull them away.
No shit.
From talking about what they want.
No
but Granny
shit.
Sure does, and Nonsense sure the fuck does. Both.
Wrong again. I don't want to take you down. The victims deserve better. It's not about you. It's about the victims. But continue to miss the intentional point. Go for it.
And I'm telling y'all now, it's
don't
forget what I said. It's coming. Nonsense and Granny's gonna have their day where they go at it with each other because Granny cannot stand for somebody to do better than her. And Nonsense is doing the same content now.
No, ma'am. No. Nonsense has been doing this content all along. Nonsense right here has never wavered. Nonsense isn't new to this arena. Nonsense started my island with this being done. This is my formula. I do what I do, and I'm the only one that does it exactly this way. And that's why it works for me. Granny and I have completely polar opposite styles. Granny and I don't have any problems. Why would there be a problem with Granny and I? It's completely, like, it's not even the same arena of what, I don't touch true crime like they do. I correct the misinformation, but I don't, it's so different.
And her channel's growing fast. I'm going to be real with you. She's better at it than Granny.
Trash talking?
I never.
Oh, don't try to do that stupid shit if I'm better. I'm good at what I do. I'm not going to deny that. But I have a formula that works for me. It wouldn't work for a lot of other people. It just wouldn't. It works for me because it's how my brain works. I have to do timeline fashions. I have to go back. I have to use. There's something that it's about how my brain works. I'm not doing it for anybody else. This is just how my brain processes things. And it's easy to explain to a large group of people without having to stammer and stumble all over my words of anything else. This just works for me. Like, it's nothing to do. Like, this isn't this whole weird competition thing, y'all. This is so fucking weird. How I do things isn't for everybody else.
She's well, here's the thing. Granny will lie and deceive people. nonsense will at least try to put stuff out there. You know what I mean? Like,
see, this is what she's trying to do. She's trying to bait a fight here. There's no fight here. Like, that's the stupidest thing.
It's
tolerable, yeah.
She's hall monitor, and she's got to have that persona of being, you know, Miss Goody Two Shoes. So she'll try to give up that moral.
Granny's immoral.
Where Granny is like immoral as hell, and she don't even know how to be moral at all.
That's not going to work for you, Brittany. That's just not going to work. You're trying to bait something that's not even there. So keep on.
She has no compassion either, and it'll be interesting to see if she really steps back from Sebastian's case. I doubt she will. She was just telling Deets what Deets wanted to hear on panel that day.
She don't even know how to pretend to be a decent person.
Nope.
Fake as fuck. I'm the victim.
I already get Dee Dee to give me the screenshots of all the stuff to prove it to y'all.
Shut up.
For real.
Fleabag.
But I got to get off here, y'all. I got to go get my kids.
Dee Dee to get screenshots of what? I don't know. She gets off after that. It looks like so. There's the end of it. But that whole weird baiting thing right there between like trying to bait a fight, that's so insanely cringe. That's not going to happen. I don't have personal things with any of these people, unlike you like to think. Granny has never asked me to do anything. I started highlighting you and using you as an example because of the misinformation and the harm that you're doing in this active case. I will continue to point out that. You're boring to me, though. There's a lot of bigger things that need to be addressed. We're going to go back into reviewing cess words here shortly. But it is what it is. Like, this is just insanity. And this whole like baiting a personal fight here and trying to take it in a personal arena. Brittany, you need to learn. I've told you over and over again. This will be the last time, hopefully, I have to tell you. It's never going to be personal. You have a personal thing with Granny. Okay, I get that. It's here nor there. None of my business. But stop trying to do all this weird lumping and baiting things and trying to make things there that aren't. This has been happening between me. I don't even know these people. I don't know history like that. I don't need to know. I focus on your current behavior now. Yeah, some of the past stuff is intriguing. It's interesting, but it's not something I'm concerned about because it will never end up going there for me. I don't need to take it there. I can highlight your own words and show it the way it is. Anyways, I just wanted to show a little bit of that and talk about the insanity that's going on because it's been a wild fucking Friday. Between threatening emails, let me check and see if I got any more while we were on here. That will be ignored too. Just so everybody knows, now that I know who's some of these people. Yeah, the last one I got is, you afraid you should be. We have so many people watching you, Becky. So many eyes on you. You picked the wrong person to come after you. I'm a hacker and have already downloaded your entire history. Try me and you will find out. JW and Amber are the least of your concern. I don't even know those folks. So, okay. Anyways, that was the last one. I don't know. It's a full moon somewhere, I guess, right? These people coming out of the woodworks. It's like, you want me to respond to people I don't even know who the fuck they are. Can you guys at least pick names that I might even know? Or like threatening to report me to the FBI for terrorism? Like, are you people okay? Are y'all okay? Kathy P, that's how they do it. We've seen that so many times before. Like, we all know this is what they're doing. It's really weird to me that adults get caught up in these like weird, somebody did something better. We all have our own individual styles. Kathy and I, for example, I can use Kathy as an example because she won't mind. Kathy and I have similar thought processes on the misinformation, but we lay them out differently. And we could use the same exact clip and we will pick up and point out different things about the clip because it's different things that stand out to us that are problematic. That's how it goes. It's not one way is better than the other, one's more effective, nothing. It's just what works for us individually and how we see things. That is how this works. This whole weird competition thing on adult, it's so cringe. I can't do it. Y'all, I've never been a jealous person. Kyle can vouch for that when he's home, except he's at work. But I just am not that person. I'm not built for this. I'm not built for that. Like, and trying to bait something with Granny. Like, that is really weird to me. Carry on. Carry on. Yeah, it's super childish. It's super, super childish. We all have our own, traders. Traders has a different style too and addresses misinformation. Jonesin addresses misinformation in different creators, a completely different way. Queen Bee addresses creators, completely different way. Deets, Gavel, Chasing. All of us have our own formula of what works for us and the best way of getting our message across to our subscribers, like our chats, how it lays and flows. For me, it is concise timelines, walking it back, using their own words, things of that works for me because that's how my brain works. Maybe if you guys all stop this weird competition thing and the weird, like, fucking, there is some, I hate to say that, I hate acknowledging that there is some weird jealous shit. The fact that they're watching my channel grow and that bothers, like, you guys know more about my numbers than I do. Everybody asks me, are you going to celebrate 6K when I hit that? No. Are you going to celebrate 7K when you hit that? No. Am I excited? Because the conversation is spreading. Yes. But as far as like it providing something for me in turn, it doesn't, y'all. It just doesn't. It doesn't float my boat. What floats my boat is people being a part of this conversation and the conversation picking up that victims deserve better. That's what makes me happy. That fulfills me when I see more people pointing out, oh yeah, this is bad, or we could do better. Absolutely. That makes me happy. The numbers on YouTube, no. Sorry. Anywho, it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to get off here, go hang out for a little while longer with my kiddos, and then we're going to switch, and Kenzie's going to take a break now, and then she'll be back on kiddo duty, and then I will have time to stream in a little bit. Don't forget, tonight, Kathy P and Traders are doing a live tarot card reading. It's for fun. It's for shits and giggles. About creators. They're going to basically take this place of all these psychics and creators and tarot card readers that we've been watching exploit this, and they're going to give readings for creators tonight. So don't forget to be there. It'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. There you go. There's the breakdown. Hopefully I got that right. Lisa, I think people get caught up in the weeds too. Calling them out is not highlighting their words. We are going to add in, just so people are aware too, I had this conversation. I was going to have this conversation yesterday, but then I didn't go live. But I actually was able to have it in Deets because somebody came in and said, they felt that I was becoming biased because I was only highlighting such words. The thought process behind that in the beginning of it was me showing what Seth has said, because people have not heard his own words, that these are things that came out of his mouth, whether they missed the interviews or didn't really pay attention. It's important for me. But then I also, that night, after doing it and trying to pull out my other layout, I was like, for me, it would make more sense to give a full picture and pull in a few of the Katie and Chris interviews too, that so people could get a picture of, okay, this is a response. This is what led up to this. This is where this is coming from. I think it gives a better one-over picture, and I don't have a bias in this. I'm going to tell you personally right now, and here you go. You want my opinion on all this? You truthfully want my opinion? Okay. None of the parents are guilty of anything. We don't have evidence to provide that the parents are guilty of anything. Could that change? Absolutely. But right now, there's no evidence to provide any statements that they are guilty of anything. We have a missing child. We don't even have a crime yet. There is no bias to have in this because unfortunately they're all vulnerable adults going through the worst part of their life. Highlighting their words is not shaming them, blaming them, anything, because factually speaking, we don't have anything to lead us there. But I do think it's important to include some of those other interviews so we get a bigger picture of it. We're going to finish with the Terry Lynn interview, and then we will go on and add in a few of the other ones. I'm not going to do a lot of the news media ones because people have watched those over and over again, but there are a few YouTube and probably not like the 4 or 5 hour ones that they've done. We'll highlight some of the things that have been said and where some of the responses are, just to kind of show a pattern, but otherwise, no. Lisa, I appreciate that. And I tell you what, I am open to criticism like that. Like, hey, you're showing a little bias here because you're not. I can see that. Like, I can see you guys thinking, oh, don't do that. You're only seeing one side. That's not my intent at all. I just want to highlight his words because there's so much that has came out of his mouth that people are saying we're lying about, such as that they met at 12 years old, or when Katie was 12 and he was 22. That came directly from him. And we watched that the other day. I think it's so important to see some of that. But I think it's also important to get a big full picture of the entire situation, because right now we don't really know. We don't know. That's why I stay out of personal engagement with family members. That's just a personal choice for me. Again, not telling anybody they're doing anything wrong, shaming them for it, anything of that nature. This is just a personal choice. I don't get involved with families because it will overshadow. And again, I say this, and I said this last night too. I'm not here for just one family. Sebastian is the current situation and the victim being exploited, but there'll be another one. I'm not here for just this family to advocate for this family. There's so many families that need advocated for. And as far as the misinformation in their cases, I'm not an advocate in the sense of a victim's advocate. I advocate in my real life. In real life, I am. I'm an advocate in real life, not on YouTube. But I will continue to advocate for people to listen up. That word is diminished a lot. There is real advocates out here that do good for victims and their families. And then there's those of us that it wouldn't even be advocation, I guess you wouldn't even say. Just using our voice to help where we can. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, Darby. And that's the hard part for me, though, because I'm not true crime. So I'm not really attempting to report on a story. That's not my intent either. I want people to hear their own words and correct the misinformation that's been started and show the narratives too. I think it's really important also for me to be able to show you guys the narratives that continue to be pushed and platformed by creators. Creators have a big hand in exploiting vulnerable people, such as the parents. We saw the same thing happen with Marvan's story. Very similar. All right. I will see you guys in a little bit. Yeah, Darby, I know what you mean. I'm just saying, like, it is a hard one for me because I don't know. It's this whole arena, the communities, the titles, all of that just is so much. Yes, Angel. Yep. And I hear people say all the time, just let it go. Don't talk about it. You're driving traffic. That's the point. Because people need to think critically about what they're hearing and process it critically instead of just running with it as fact. They need to think about it, question it, source it, verify it. You are talking about somebody's worst times of their life. You owe them that respect. There's that. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys in a little bit. If I don't see you later and you're off running for the weekend, have a great weekend with your family. See ya.